Hello and welcome. In a series of interactive lessons in this section, you will learn how to set up a 3-node MariaDB Galera cluster running on the latest version of Red Hat Enterprise Linux. As you can see from this image, MariaDB Cluster is really a variant of Galera cluster. What this means is that all these nodes, they are active in the cluster, and all these nodes are actively being used for both read and write operations. Here's a quick summary of this section. What we will be doing in this section, I will not go over setting up a new virtual machines or configuring them or changing their host name and making sure they can ping each other, because I have already shown you in the Galera cluster for MySQL section. Okay, so what we'll be doing, the first of all, we will be setting up a MariaDB repository, and then from this repository we will install MariaDB MySQL server with the support of Galera clustering components, and then we will install Galera cluster plugin, the replication plugin. As a matter of fact, MariaDB server does include this plugin in there. Once we have installed, we will configure a MariaDB server. This is a SQL server, MySQL server. MySQL server we will configure separately then from the Galera cluster itself. Separating them, you will see later on, it will help us fully control over our MariaDB cluster. So after we start and secure our MariaDB MySQL server, we will configure the Galera cluster, and then we will bootstrap the MariaDB Galera cluster. Bootstrapping really means, I have explained this in details in when the lesson will come, but bootstrapping really means that you want to start your server from the first node. Okay, and then I will show you how we can add a new node to the cluster. Then I will show you how we can do, how this write set replication WSREP works. I will show you first. We will import some sample data to see how really this WSREP uses the rsync, in this case as a SST method. SST is state snapshot method to replicate the data to all over other nodes. And then I will show you how we can remove a node from the cluster, and finally we will remove the MariaDB Galera cluster and make it a clean slate for our next project. Okay, and the end of this section, you should be able to set up a MariaDB Galera cluster, add or remove a node from the cluster, look at the important tables and the status variables. Those are related to MariaDB cluster. Since we have a lot to cover, let's jump right in, and I will see you in the lesson.